The second semi-final here at the Women's Epee World Cup in Tallinn, the first World Cup of fencing's international season, a crucial one ahead of Tokyo 2020. It's Zhu Mingyi of China who's fencing on the right-hand side, and Violetta KOLOBOVA of Russia on the left. Adrian, can anything top that first semi-final?
Well, that first semi-final was impressively close and swung in different directions. I think it could, but it'll take some doing.
Well, we've already had Zhu showing signs of perhaps a little weakness in that back ankle. Our referee, that is Henkelmann of Germany, gets things back underway. So this for a place in the gold medal match against Anna Maria Popescu. A lot of it seemingly keen to avoid that non-combativity call. Have you refereed either of these two today?
Yes, I think I refereed KOLOBOVA earlier, I think.
Well, she came through Canyon of Italy, Pantelieva of Ukraine, Multera of Germany, who had a great day, and then a really great fight against Kong of Hong Kong in the last round to make it through. Zhu's route, she came through Calderon of Peru, Chabinska of Poland, formerly Nelep. Vitaly had to pull out of their round of 16 match, and there was a confident, maybe the score doesn't say comfortable, but confident victory over Jacques-Andre Cocan in the quarterfinals. Well, she's having a cracking day. She came into the tournament ranked 8th in the world, but she has been one of the star performers so far today. Part of an incredibly strong Russian team. Currently sit in pole position for Olympic qualification as a team. Ahead of China, funnily enough. And what a transformation Hughes Aubrey has made to the Chinese fortunes in epee. Well, I'm pretty sure that Hughes Aubrey said something in Mandarin that was something along the lines of, let time run out, get to the break. And that is exactly what Zhu Mingyi has done. KOLOBOVA has been full of business today. She's been up and down and moving very, very moving actively. She's being a creator in the matches, and it's really worked for her today.
Yeah, she's looking really confident on the piece. Do you see her movement? She's controlling the distance in this fight so far. Very much controlling the distance, and that's going to end up being a big difference between these two unless ZHU can get back in there and start making some effect on putting her under a bit of a discomfort.
Yeah, Alexander Glazunov is giving her the instruction. I think it's pretty simple that she's got to stay active and mobile and be very careful of getting too close. I'm sure down the other end that Hughes Aubrey has got a slightly different. He wanted to get ZHU out of that first period, clearly because he wants to give her some kind of tactical instruction.
Yeah, sometimes the best thing you can do is hold out to the break, get some advice. Maybe there's something the coach is picking up on that you can't see, can't assess, and you just get a different viewpoint on tactics.
It is interesting, isn't it? And as a referee, Adrian, I don't get much of a chance to ask referees all these questions, but I am quite interested. When you go from the first period to second period, and clearly someone's is making some kind of tactical change, are you looking to spot that just to make sure that you're sort of in tune with both fences, or are you just still looking at the fight as a whole?
I mean, in épée, it doesn't really matter how they're changing their tactics. It's not going to change how you're refereeing.
Yeah.
So I mean, occasionally it's quite interesting to listen to what some of the coaches are saying, because obviously you have a perspective on the fight, they have a perspective on the fight, and actually what's really interesting is to see when fencers adopt those tactics and seeing them work.
Mm-hmm. I suppose it's probably a less relevant question as compared with foil and sabre, where if there is some kind of, I want you to try and start your attack later into an action or earlier into action, to be in tune with that as a referee is crucial, so that you can explain that whether the fencer's executing what the coach has said well or not.
Yeah, but you don't want to let yourself be influenced
Of
by the
course,
coach.
I didn't say influence. That's why I didn't say influence. I know you're immovable objects in terms of following the rules, and that's what we've wanted, and we've seen over the last few years the standardisation across all the top referees. ZHU just being a little bit more patient, nearly paid off then.
Yeah, she's opened the distance a little more, ZHU. You can see it, and it's not quite as comfortable for KOLOBOVA with the distance being a little bit bigger, but the converse point of that is ZHU there attacking from out of range just gives chance for KOLOBOVA to come back as she falls short.
I think she surprised herself there, because she kind of got stuck, didn't she?
Yeah.
She like quite rightly said, she's attacked from too far away, and took a little bit of time to go, oh dear, I've attacked from too far away, and by that point, KOLOBOVA had plenty of time to land, having skipped out of distance. Well, look, I don't want to call this too early, but clearly the Russian is in a really strong position halfway through the second of 3 periods, and it's a mouth-watering prospect to see KOLOBOVA go up against Popescu for gold here in Tallinn. Both very active, both creators. A little bit messy there from KOLOBOVA. She didn't set that one up at all. Perhaps premeditated, try and spring a little surprise to open up the gap, but it didn't work out. Set that up,
Nice.
didn't she?
Very nice. Yeah.
She stepped into
Draws
distance.
her out and flicks over the top of the counter. Yeah.
Took the words around her mouth. She absolutely set that up. She went, here I am, come and get me. No chance.
Catch up. We will see.
How do you find it sitting watching épée matches? I know you and I have had plenty of conversations over the years, but as a referee, you're there to do a job, and you have to stay fairly emotive. You can't show any emotion. You've just got to call the hits as they are. But some of your favourite hits? What would you say your favourite hit in Epée is?
I think my favourite hits are the ones that are really set up, really well controlled, the ones where they've just sold their opponent completely, where with distance or with second intention with the blade, but something where they just out-thunk their opponent.
I don't think that word has been used on the fencing commentary before. Out-thunk. I'm going to try and use that a bit more. But that's exactly what KOLOBOVA did. It was a really sweet hit to take her 4 points ahead. There's just 30 seconds to go, and now she can play that game, can't she?
Yeah, she can. I don't think she'll be that content to play that game. I don't think her coach will be that content to let her play that game either. She's won this by controlling distance, controlling the tempo, and if she doesn't keep doing it, she could lose 1 or 2 hits, and then the mind starts to go slightly, and then it's a slippy slope down.
Yeah, got to stay active. But I suppose what I mean is that as long as she's sort of relatively active, she can afford to play out a couple of doubles and just draw ZHU into attacking and just pick off a couple of easy hits, because now she's just 4 away from the target score, and I think they're going to let this period play out. So as we go to the second break, Adrian, here's the toughest of questions that I can possibly ask you. What on earth can ZHU Mingji do now? What do you think? I'm not going to say what do you think Hugh Zobrey is going to say, because no one's going to know what Hugh Zobrey's magical tactical mind is going to say. But what would you say if you were down there?
I think you have to look at extending that distance a bit, getting her in control of the distance, opening that distance a little more, and looking for second intention. She can't open the distance and then go direct. So what she's going to have to do is open the distance, draw KOLOBOVA into an action, and then go off that.
And in terms of trying to expand on that, I know most of our viewers are fencing fans, but just trying to expand on that, that's almost certainly what KOLOBOVA is doing, and he's going to predict that ZHU is going to come out and do. ZHU's got to do second intention in a slightly different way, doesn't she? She's got to almost throw in a short attack to make KOLOBOVA think that she's going for it and finishing it, and then using second intention off whatever KOLOBOVA does there.
Yeah, throw in a short attack or feint to a target she's not going for and come out to a different target. So look for wrist, go down to knee, look for foot, come up to wrist.
Nice, okay.
Something unpredictable.
Well, Mattis Henkelman will get us underway. The third and final period of the second women's semi-final here in Tallinn. This for a shot at gold against Anna Maria Popescu. Oh, just beautiful footwork.
She went for it though. She went for the wrist and down to the foot. She's just didn't get it.
There you go. And she called it, but KOLOBOVA's distance in defence was absolutely sweet. Just stepped out of the way, and then ZHU was a sitting duck.
Same in reverse. Got her into the distance. KOLOBOVA's the one that loses her distance this time. ZHU picks her off. KOLOBOVA's just trying to draw her out. She's not trying to make the hit. She's not happy with that distance being quite so big, and trying to draw into that.
She's fallen into this trap too many times, the Chinese athlete. And you can almost see, when in slow motion, you can actually see her going, look, there's the top of my hand. Go on, have a go at it. And ZHU, from too far away, launches the flash, and that's beautifully and fairly comfortably parried by the Russian. 2 away now from making the gold medal match here in time, and that is another brilliant hit.
Same again.
Assistant referee just pointing out that ZHU's hair might be skipping out the way. I think referee Huckerman wants to get this one done, and so does Violetta Kolobova. She is through to the gold medal match. A tactical masterclass, Adrian.
Yeah, brilliant fencing, brilliant control of distance. She always looked from the start to be comfortable in her footwork and where she was on the piste, and I think that made the difference.
Tasty final we've got coming up, isn't it? These two have been fencing really well today. They've fenced well enough to make the final, and they're both the creators.
Yeah.
Well, we've got that coming up. In the meantime, we have to have a 10-minute break to give Violetta Kolobova a bit of a rest, and we are going to have some kind of dancing and musical display. We will leave you that. We'll try and leave the sound on for as long as we can, but if they start playing commercial music,